Hey YouTube, Coppersan here. Meet the Paladin, one of the 3 Explorer Warrior classes. Paladin is the most supportive and tankiest out of all 3 Explorer Warriors. While heroes focus more on dealing damage and Dark Knights on leeching the life of their enemies, Paladins have more passive tankiness and a ton of supportive tools, both offensive and defensive. They are incredibly well rounded and very easy to start bossing on due to their natural tankiness and useful buffs. Popularity wise, looking at all classes that are level 250 and higher in MapleStory Global, out of those 50 classes, Paladin ranks at 24, perfectly balanced, just as all things should be. They're just above the Dark Knights. Paladins are in a great spot in the current meta. They even got some buffs in last week's update, increasing the damage on their Blast, Divine Judgment, Heaven's Hammer and Mighty Mjolnir skills. But before we go over the hunting, bossing and what makes this class so awesome, we're first going to quickly check out today's video sponsor, Awesome. These sponsorships help keep the channel going and your support is always greatly appreciated. For some reason, my boss doesn't really like it when I play MapleStory during work. I know, weird right? But I still want to complete those dailies and get those login rewards. Thankfully, I never miss a beat with this all-in-one remote access tool. Using the Awesome Game version, I can get and customize a game keyboard so I can play MapleStory from my phone without any disturbances. And of course, the usability doesn't just end there. You can also use the remote access to transfer files that you forgot to send, or even turn off your PC in case you want to save money on that electricity bill. If you want to try this out yourself, you can use the code appearing on the screen to get a 7-day trial of Awesome Remote Game. This is only for the first 200 people, so act quickly. Head over to the Awesome website, sign in, click on rewards, fill out the code and then you're in. You can then easily set up your screen mirroring with your QR code, and once that ends, just using the app will reward you with Sunshine, which can be used to get more days of Awesome Game or Awesome Pro. Sometimes Awesome also offers additional days for free just like that, so that's always nice to grab. The basic version of Awesome is free by the way, so you can always install that one. But there also is the Pro and Game Plan. I'm using the Game Plan myself for that customizable keyboard. Adding more devices also will give you a discount on the plan. But Awesome doesn't just offer remote software, they even have remote switches. In case you turned off your PC and want to turn it back on remotely or monitor your energy consumption, you can even set timers and schedules. You can check the Awesome app or website if you want to learn more about those, and of course the remote software tool itself. There is a link in the video description and top comment. Don't forget to check out the code, and now back to the video. When you're out hunting, you'll mostly be using your Divine Charge skill, while also using your Heaven's Hammer 4th job skill and 5th job skill Mighty Mjolnir when they're off cooldown. Divine Charge is a 3rd job skill that gets buffed with your 4th job advancement. It's your average grinding skill, and every 7 seconds an additional attack occurs when using the skill, which greatly enhances its range and damage. Paladin's mobility has also been quite enhanced over the years. They can up jump by either using their upwards charge skill or by using the regular attack plus up key, and in similar fashion they can come crashing down by using their leap attack or by using the regular attack and down key. They also have a short range dash using their rush skill, but this one is mostly used when bossing. Paladins can grind in various maps and greatly benefit from the Erda Fountain skill if they cannot clear the entire map in one rotation. It's an easy jump and attack playstyle. I like to joke that Paladins are just like Buccaneers when they have their Hammers of the Righteous skill active. This 5th job skill creates 5 big hammers that deal damage around you, so you just jump around and defeat monsters while just doing that. It's quite fun, but I doubt it's very efficient though. Paladin's unique gimmick is their Vessel of Light passive, where they gain a light charge each time a holy attack is used, and almost all of your attacks are holy, besides some lower level ones. With each charge, the Paladin gains a passive buff, which stacks up to 5 times. At max level and max stacks, this equals to 25% more damage, 25% more HP recovery excluding HP recovered by potions, 60 attack, 10 status resistance and 10% less damage taken, even from attacks that deal percentage HP damage. So if an attack does, let's say, 80% damage to your HP bar, you'll only receive 70% damage, giving you more tankiness, and all of that just for attacking 5 times. You don't even need to hit anything, just hit the air and you'll get stacks. Paladins are very hard to kill for boss monsters. This is thanks to their Vessel of Light passive, but also thanks to their Shield Mastery, which gives the Paladin additional elemental and status resistance and a 40% chance to guard attacks. To add to that, Paladins learn the Divine Shield passive in 3rd job, which when attacked creates a shield that blocks 10 attacks and reduces the damage of percentage HP attacks by 25%. This skill does have a cooldown though. Once all 10 stacks are used, you're gonna be a little bit more vulnerable for like 30 seconds. And if all of that ain't enough, the Sacrosanctity hyper skill grants you a total of 30 seconds of invincibility to get out of sticky situations. Usually, Paladin mains don't use the full duration, but instead use the skill again to cancel it, so a bit of the cooldown gets refunded. Bossing though, that's where Paladins really shine, especially when bossing with a party. When attacking bosses, Paladins use their bossing skill, Blast. Each time an enemy is hit by Blast, they get a stack, and once that counter reaches 5, an explosion occurs, dealing a good chunk of additional damage. Wait, what's this? Your shields are down and your potions are on cooldown. No worries, Paladins have a healing skill that they can use to recover HP. It also has no cooldown, but each consecutive use does lower the effectiveness, and when everything else fails, their Explorer Warrior Link skill can save you from a potential death. Dying with this class is very hard, but not impossible. Paladin's other hyper skill attack is a Bind, which frees up 1 node slot to add any other skills that you want. Plus they have an insane debuff called Noble Demand. This skill places a debuff on monsters, lowering their attack and defense by a massive 50% for 80 seconds, while also lowering their accuracy by 50% for 8 seconds. This is very valuable in boss fights, but that ain't all, we're just starting. Paladins can revive dead party members, and doing so makes both you and the revived party member invincible for 10 seconds. That's so much invincibility for this class is crazy. Thanks to their combat orders buff, they can grant all party members +2 skill levels on their 4 job skills, which adds a huge amount of value, unless if the party members already have this skill as a 5th job skill, of course, then a little bit less. They can remove monster buffs with their magic crash, which is also great for removing damage reflection when you're fighting those earlier game bosses. And then there is their 5th job skill, Divine Echo. This skill gives the Paladin a huge boost in final damage, but it also makes your attacks echo at the selected party member, dealing a smaller percentage of final damage. It's basically like a weaker version of yourself becoming the shadow partner of a party member. And what's even greater is that any buffs that you cast are also cast for the selected party member. So if you use your invincibility skill Sacrosanctity, your party members also become invincible. Paladins can select which party member to target in case someone else needs help, which is super valuable, especially if you have someone who's just starting out and still learning the boss mechanics. All these things make Paladins very useful and very well rounded as supportive classes, increasing the party members their skill levels, debuffing the boss monsters, reviving dead party members, and granting invincibility to your party members through Divine Echo. It's pretty nuts, and provides a lot of benefits compared to other more tanky classes like Mihail, for example, who adds a lot of shields on top, while Paladins provide more all-rounded support, I'd say. Now, Paladins are not going to outdamage a hero or Dawn Warrior, but their 5th job burst skill, Grand Guardian, is very powerful, dealing a huge amount of damage in a short while, and while the skill is active, you will take reduced damage yourself, which is very useful. Combine this attack with your Divine Echo, Epic Adventure, and Angelic Buster Link skill for a mean amount of damage. Their overall DPM is just fine. Their only constraint when bossing is that to get the most out of the Hammers of the Righteous skill, you'll have to stand close to a boss for the skill to hit, but missing a few hits here and there is definitely not the end of the world. Paladins are very straightforward and don't have many hidden mechanics or tips and tricks. Good to know though is that the Heaven's Hammer skill works against boss attacks that knock you back, providing super stance. Great to use in Lotus or Magnus, for example. And some general tips: Paladins generally use two-handed blunt weapons due to the additional passive stats your mastery gives for this type of weapon. Technically, a one-handed blunt weapon with a Terminus Defender shield is better, but it is almost impossible to get this shield, especially in Reboot. For inner abilities, you want to go with +1 attack speed at the first line and boss damage on the second one, or attack or critical rate, whatever you prefer really. If you are one-handed, you don't go for +1 attack speed, you go for boss damage on your first line. For your passive hyper skills, go for Divine Charge, Extra Strike, Blast Reinforce, Blast Extra Strike, Heaven's Hammer Cooldown Cutter, and Heaven's Hammer Extra Strike. I had the additional damage passive for Divine Charge because I had trouble one-shotting. Still need to switch that one out, the additional strike for Heaven's Hammer. Note-wise for Paladin, their important skills are Blast, Divine Charge, and Divine Judgment. And then you get another node with Final Attack, Smite Shield, and Heaven's Hammer. And for reference, this is a 15k stat Paladin with these additional stats, you know, critical damage, ID, boss damage, etc. This class does not have any special gear. I still actually need to get some Absolab items on this character. I only have a fake Absolab weapon, but a lot of event rings. This character was an old Terra Burning character, hence the additional rings and whatnot. And that's all I had for the Paladin for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Many thanks for watching, and as always, special thanks to our members for making these videos possible. Special thanks to Niels de Coninck, Raar maar waar, Sebastian Hanoy, Jesus Rodriguez, Kalimora, Wiley, Riser Are BackSpaceOTI, Ziggy Historycanon, Saffronyx, Flidiot, Knifesu, Cloudfix, Surtito655, Michael Menchaca, Rathius, Afterlord, Betrayal1489, Silvio Nato, Striker Elk, Tidal One Fun, Victor Sundstrom, Mathias Simonson, Mr. Anarch, Ben on Games, The Passenger, Kani Wu, Max Bernhardt, Mukau1017, BNB King, Scotty Flies Fast, Gabriel Eck, Fecko, Vake Botnet, Dante Victory, Mathinu Def, Snack, HBG, Only, Lord Vasil, Spats the Kaiser, That Archie Guy, Louis Bento Brandau, Snuffle Pop, Tails Curspet, The Wolf Drake, Gaber Wolf, Live Love MapleStory, Kali, Duckfoos, Quinn, Migu and Mark Set. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe and happy mapling!